Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Chattin with Coach Amy. For just a second, I almost forgot what my podcast was called. I'm here with my BFF Coach JJ. She's back. It's been 100,000 years. I don't even know how long ago that was. It was a while.
It's been a minute.
We talked about something and we were supposed to come back and talk about something else. And I'm scrolling Instagram to see if I can figure it out. But I don't remember. Do you? Do you remember?
Nope.
I don't remember.
I
don't either. I don't at all. It was fun. Well, today we're going to talk about recovering from the holidays and our thoughts on New Year's resolutions. And I kind of know what you're going to say, but I found it. I found our podcast. It was October 18th. Holy smokes, JJ. People going to think we broke up.
No, because we posted lots of pictures together over the holidays.
We did. Side note, someone asked Wes if he and I were okay recently. And he was like, oh, yeah, we kind of better than ever. Why? And they were like, well, I don't see Amy. It was a church person. He was like, well, she doesn't come to Wednesday nights because she's working, but she's here on Sunday morning. And they were like, oh, okay, I must have just missed her. I'm glad y'all are all right.
Hey, well, at least they were concerned enough to ask.
They were. But yeah, we good. Wes and I and JJ and I, we good.
We all good. We all
okay,
good.
So,
and guess what?
What?
In 20 days, we're going to Universal.
We are. Can't wait. And you do you, boo, but I'm going to be 100% on plan. And I'm very excited to do that. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I'll probably be 100% on plan. I don't have anything that I'm just like, oh, I really know that I can only get this there. And
yeah,
I mean, I don't have any plans to go off plan. Now, if I was going to Disney, it might be a different story because I have certain treats there that I really like, but I try to limit them. But Universal's not quite the same.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. It's going to be good. I've been perusing the menus of all the places.
Good.
But I do need a list from my travel agent of where we're going. And if that's not possible, I'll wing it, man. I'm all about it's fine.
Okay. I think your travel agent can send you a list.
That's fine. Thank you. You're the best. She's my travel agent. Okay. So the last one, our podcast was about habits pre-THM and now. And there are habits. And I think maybe we were going to talk about foods pre-THM and now. So do you want to do that now? Do you want me to kind of go over that real quick?
We can do whatever.
Okay. So for me, since I've been thinking about it a minute more than you, pre-THM food for Amy was still pretty healthy, I think. However, I was not separating fuels, and I had French fries whenever the heck I wanted, like every time I went to town, which was almost every day because my kids were at preschool. And you want Wendy's Happy Meal? Okay, let's go.
Yep.
So now the thought, I might eat a fry or two every now and then, but I don't like the way they make me feel. So another thing that we did a lot was get ice cream from the Sonic. Like we celebrate a lot of things with the Sonic ice cream. And so I did that often. What really got me though, do you remember when I was working at First Baptist Macomb as a preschool director? This was pre-Camp in Knox. Yeah. And I was clipping the coupons and people would bring me all the coupons. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was cuckoo crazy about them coupons. I took all of Wes's baseball cards out of those sleeves to put coupons in. He was not happy with me. I was like, I've never even seen you open these baseball cards. He was like, that's the point. They are whatever. What is it? Appreciating. Okay. I'm impressed I thought of that word. So anyway, I was like the coupon girl, but all of a sudden McDonald's comes out with the fancy coffees. Well, we don't have a Starbucks here, y'all. We're about to.
Eventually.
This is 10 years later now, though, from the Starbucks. The McDonald's conversation here. 10 years later is now. But I got one of those. It was right by the girls' preschool. And I would drop them off and I would get a coffee because I got it for free because everybody's bringing me these coupons. was not good for me. Y'all, the sugar in those things, I just can't. Oh, I can't. Don't, please stop. Please stop doing that. Carry your little packets with you and it's going to be okay. Your little sweetener packets. Please stop. Okay. So now, oh, well, let's do yours. What were some of your pre-THM things?
Ooh, okay. So anytime somebody asks me pre-THM, the first thought is a king size Milky Way.
Yep. I did do king size Reese's. I did.
Yeah. King size Milky Ways.
A big cup.
Yeah. Yeah. We won't
How
describe
extreme.
Do what?
How extreme.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a reason. It was just the chocolate was different on the king size.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I wasn't just getting the king size because I liked the way the chocolate was on it, eating one and having some self-control and eating one, the next week. No. It was one serving, like the whole thing. One serving. And those are pretty big. Those were really that was kind of my go-to. It was my comfort. It was, if I was stressed, boom, stopping to get in a king size Milky Way. But food, it was really just a lot of pasta, hamburger, like buns. I didn't eat a ton of sandwiches even back then. I mean, I would put a BLT in front of me and I won't white bread. I've gotten better about, sprouted bread, but it's something about a BLT. You just need that awful white bread to go with it. So I just don't do it. People ask me all the time about that. And I'm just like, I just don't do bread very much anymore. I still have loaves of bread that I froze during the COVID shutdown because I just don't go through it very much. It's probably all horrible, but
I'm coming shopping at your
desperate. I just, I just gave that kind of stuff up because there wasn't great substitutes. But yeah, pastas, breads, like macaroni and cheese. You get, the Lord's mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A.
I've never had that. I've never had it.
So it was old school cafeteria type.
Oh, I see.
With that good brown.
I just got a whiff, a taste of pizza from the cafeteria right when you said that. Like I just remembered that pizza, that ginormous sheet. Oh,
and it was in rectangles.
Yeah. Well, we ate it and it was so good. No, you were just hungry because you hadn't eaten in 7 hours.
Yeah, if we only knew. But yeah, so things like that. I mean, just your typical standard American diet, which is sad.
Right.
And it's why I felt miserable all the time and why I had body aches and headaches. And I mean, how many years did I struggle with migraines that were probably food related and we just didn't know?
Blood sugar. So you and I both were those people pre-THM that were miserable, desperate, in pain, no energy. I mean, we were joking about needing a cup of coffee just before we started. I mean, like I'm enjoying it and it's being helpful, but I could still go do what I needed to do and be okay. But so I am having coffee.
I wish I had thought about getting me coffee. I am drinking a bai in case anyone's wondering. There is a bai and mixed with water so that I make them last longer.
Yes, that's right. So none of that to, make any of you guys feel bad that might be listening, because we are at a point in our journey where those things are not beneficial to us. And we've just been able to move past it. Everybody's not where Amy is. I've been doing this 6 years. You might not be there. But if you think I should be there, then get it together. Come on now. You can do it. Let me tell you, if I can do this, anybody can. So post TH or during THM or right now, present foods that I do that I never had before. Mango. I'd never had mango. Papaya, quinoa, steak. Honestly, I never really liked steak. What is wrong with that girl? But now I'm like, can I have steak, please? I'm trying to think of some other things. I'd never had Laughing Cow cheese. I'd never had sprouted bread. I'd never had like lentil pasta, things that I buy on the regular, especially that mango. That mango just does something in my heart and soul that I can't even explain. They are 85 cents at Aldi, by the way, right now. And they're over $1 at Walmart. Sorry, Walmarts. But I got me some yesterday. So I'm probably going to come up with other things. well, I mean, the specialty things that we get that are on plan, like the Lily's chocolate and, different things like that. But I'm just thinking of like real whole foods that I never like, even salad. I would have never just made myself a salad. Broccoli. I cannot stand broccoli, to be honest, but I eat it. It's not a problem. What do I get at McAllister's? I get a sandwich, no bread, heated with broccoli. Like that's just what I get, and I eat it and I move on. I do not like broccoli, but I eat it because I know it's good for me. So that right there, I eat it because I know it's good for me. It's not my last meal. It's not the last meal I'll eat out in town. I'm fueling. It's
Right.
a meal. And I used to treat going out to eat like my last meal of my whole life.
Yes.
The dumbest thing in the world. So anyway, I think a perspective shift definitely happened at some point. And so just letting you guys know it's possible. So what are some things, some foods that you use now that you had not before?
So sweets, obviously, with me saying Milky Ways before, sweets have always been my trigger. They're my comfort. They are my everything.
Right.
And the shift from only touching milk chocolate and wanting as close to, garbage chocolate as I could get to now, I like some really dark chocolate.
Y'all don't even know. You just don't even know how crazy that is.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge shift for me to be like, oh, just give me some dark chocolate and I'm good to go. Red wine. I know you were doing all these healthy whole foods and I'm doing the decadent stuff.
I was thinking about it in my heart.
Well, let's be real and go there.
It's so good.
Give me some dark chocolate and some red wine. I only drank white wine. I liked a Riesling before, which is really sweet. And recently I had a Riesling because I was like, they didn't have a Malbec on the menu. And I thought, well, a Riesling sounds good. I'm going to have it. And it was expensive wine at an expensive restaurant. And so I made myself drink it because I had paid for it. And it was so sweet. I couldn't enjoy it.
Oh no.
And it's so funny how your tastes change. But yes, doing things like that. I liked cabbage before, but not like as a staple of my diet.
Right.
Cabbage, Brussels sprouts, peppers, those kind of things have become staples in my life.
Yeah.
Whereas before it might be an occasional thing. Like New Year's Day, I would have cabbage and I wouldn't have it the rest of the year.
Right.
Now,
have you ever had, speaking of cabbage, have you ever had Napa cabbage? It was like $1 cheaper at Walmart. One of my clients had it in her app, and that was a couple weeks ago. I noticed it. I'm like, Napa cabbage, what the world? So when I was doing my grocery order last night, I just typed in cabbage, and there was a Napa cabbage was an option, and it was $1 cheaper. And I'm like, yep, and it's huge. I mean, it's got to be this big. Sorry, those of you listening. It's giant. It's bigger than my head. Like it's huge. But anyway, I'm interested to try it. She loves it. So anyway, proceed.
Yeah. Well, to save money, I will tell you, my local farmer that I love so much shared with me that whole heads of cabbage, especially if you get them, around here, they can last 3 weeks in your refrigerator.
Wow.
And I went, what? He said, yes. So I bought the week before Christmas. I think it was Thursday before Christmas. I bought 3 whole heads of cabbage from him that he grew here locally. And we just finished up the last head.
Wow.
The very last head, I had to pull a little bit off, and go in a little bit further to get that crisp. But that's a great way to save money too, is whole heads of cabbage. Because that cabbage slaw is so easy and convenient.
It goes bad in a second, like an avocado.
It does. And it's pricey. And it really doesn't take long to chop up cabbage. It really doesn't.
I find chopping cabbage therapeutic. I like to chop up vegetables. It makes them, I don't know, I like it.
Yeah. It's funny how those kind of things have just, I can get in there when I have time to get in there and cook and do, even though with Trim Healthy Mama, it does create a mound of dishes that before using convenience products didn't. It's still just so nice to get in there and just enjoy. Yeah. Just enjoy cooking and knowing that I'm providing. So, we did eat fairly healthy before, but we were eating the wrong quantities. We
Right.
were eating too often. We were filling in with those garbage things like the white breads and the pastas and the junk food when we wanted a celebration. Speaking of celebration, you said that used to, when you would go out to eat, it was always like, well, it's like almost like my last meal. It's such a
Mhm.
treat and I want to do. And you know why that is? The way we were raised, and I think it's going to be different for our children and their children, but the way you and I were raised, we didn't get to go out to eat.
Nope.
That whole generation, it was a treat.
Right.
So our whole life, anytime we went out to eat, it was special. And that has stuck with us.
Yeah.
But in our society today, it is much more common
Right.
to pick up fast food to eat out, but our minds didn't shift into, I'm doing this a lot.
That's right.
And I had to make that shift with fellowships at church. And I
Oh,
just had
yeah.
this discussion with a client because my church, we like to eat. Okay. We like to fellowship.
Yeah.
And it had gotten to where it went from just the first Sunday to now on Wednesday nights, a lot of us get together and we might bring supper from home or we might pick up fast food, but we all gather in the fellowship hall before church on Wednesday nights and have a meal together. And then, oh, well, this congregation, let's go meet up with them and do this. And it was just every other week. And I thought, at what point am I going to recognize that these are just my friends and my church family, and I'm just eating with them. And it's not an excuse to go off plan because this isn't happening once in a blue moon.
Right.
But you've got to think through those shifts when they happen and now make that your new normal.
Speaking of celebrations, you're coming to Lily's birthday party Saturday, yes?
I am. And I'm not
Uncle
worried
Red
about
coming?
what I'm going to eat because I figure Coach Amy's going to feed me well.
Girl, I got you, boo. Is Uncle Red coming?
Uncle Red, I think, is coming.
Oh, good. She asked. Okay, so we're having Huey Magoo's cater. And so we'll have crispy chicken and grilled chicken. And then nothing else from Huey Magoo's will be on plan for us. So there's something like chips and fries and cookies and banana pudding. And also birthday cake. I'm like, Wes, why'd you get all that? He said it was part of the deal. I'm like, it's fine. He handled it. Okay. But I'm gonna do a veggie and berry tray of some sort. And I'm making brownie cheesecake from Healthy Future first.
Yes.
And my mom's on plan too now, y'all. Whoop whoop, go Lisa.
Whoop.
So
That's awesome.
Whoever else wants some, although I might be like, you eating birthday cake, you can't have this too.
Yeah.
No.
I've been wanting brownie cheesecake and I just haven't stopped long enough to make it. So perfect.
We'll make it tomorrow, so we'll have it for Saturday. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to talk about on that topic?
I don't think so. I think it's just, realizing that we are not deprived.
No.
We can do anything. And, you love that hashtag grown woman. I mean, you can make the choice to go off plan, but you've also got to make the choice to deal with the consequences.
Ooh. That was good.
Well, I mean, if you know that
You gotta
for
own it.
me, if I eat off plan sugar, that I know how much of a trigger that is for me and how much I still I think it's kind of like a smoker who says 20 years after they quit, they'd still light up one in a heartbeat. That is how I personally am with junk food. I know I could go and binge on some junk food right now. And I have to recognize that if I let myself go off just a little bit, that's where it's a solid temptation for me.
Mhm.
That's not your temptation.
Mm-mm.
For me, though, it is. And I have to recognize that and be a grown person about it.
Yeah. I could eat my weight in chips and queso at the Mexican place, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yesterday we took Lily for her birthday lunch and we're in the car. And I'm like, wait a minute, where are we going? And she was like, it's like Santa Fe okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Just as long as we're not going to Mexican, because we're about to turn this thing around and go get my chips.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna have to have them. I'm gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to. And I haven't had Mexican in a while. We went a few weeks ago. Anyways, it's all good. It's exciting. I'm very excited about our trip. We just went to New Orleans. We took my girls, JJ and I took my girls. We had a wonderful time.
Yes.
And we're going to take, she's chaperoning the girls and myself again. She's our travel buddy for sure.
Yes.
Lily for her senior trip wants to go to New York and Fabiana.
I'm ready.
Yes, Coach Fob said she'd help us. It'll be another 1.5 or 2 years or so though, but
Yeah.
we're doing it. We're gonna do it.
Hey, we need to remember this. So we need to look through my last trip to New York and find a couple of pictures. I've got one in particular in mind. I was fixing to ride the subway for the very first time, and I was pretty close to the largest I had ever been. So we have got to get
Recreate
a picture. Yeah, we've got to redo that one.
My girls know about taking pictures. We pulled up at Aldi yesterday and Katie goes, "You need a picture in front of that balloon." But it was stupid cold. And I was like, next time, it's too cold. I am like shaking over here. Okay. So let's talk about, what did I say? Coming back from the holidays. Recovery. Thank you. I knew it was like cute. Okay. Holiday recovery. So do you feel like now this year, did you have to recover from the holidays? And it may just not be food related, but in any way.
No, I really didn't. The only problem I had this time, Christmas Day was kind of hard for me because it was the first time I had woken up in my home alone ever. You know, I am an empty nester, but last Christmas, it was the first Christmas that Emma and Caleb were married, but they got to come home. And Gavin had just moved back in with us. So, and Red was home for work. Huh? Yeah, y'all were there. I mean, it
was 911 people there.
We had a packed house and it was amazing. But then this year, Gavin was just newly moved into his brand new home. Emma and Caleb couldn't come home. Red was working. And I know I could have called you and been like, "Hey, I'm coming to sleep in one of the beds." I could have gone and stayed at my mom and dad. I could have gone many places, but I decided I was going to stay here. And so I realized the closer it got that like that emotional train wreck was coming.
Yeah.
And I wasn't planning 1,500 dishes and it was like, you know what? I'm just going to make the best of it. Thinking if I just have meat and veggies, I'll be okay. There was not a single veggie where I was for lunch on plan.
Oh my.
Not one. And I thought, I figured there'd be a pot of green beans because I know what we normally do. There wasn't even that. So I had to make the best, and I didn't go crazy. You know, I had a little scoop of my mom's dressing. I had a good bit of meat. I did have my fruit salad that was on plan, but it was a crossover. And then, you know, I had some fudge. I had brought some fudge, and that was it. But even just that little bit that I crossed over and had that little bit of my mom's that was off plan, I did feel it. Now, I didn't feel like I had to go into recovery, but I could just tell, you know, at Thanksgiving, I was super light, didn't have any problems at all. Just that little bit at Christmas Day, I was like, and this is why I keep it in check. I keep it in balance.
It's not worse feeling bad. Nothing.
It's not. And just think if I had done like a lot of people and just said, "Oh, it's Christmas, I'm going to do whatever I want," and had all the things. Like I still limited it. I just thought my options were going to be better than they were. But if I had just said, "Well, there's nothing here, so I'm going to have a little bit of everything." No, I knew the next place I was going was your house. And then I was going to Lindy's house, and both of y'all have really healthy options. I knew I wasn't going to starve the rest of the day.
That's right.
So it was a really good feeling, even though I didn't feel perfect after lunch, to recognize I could feel so much worse if I had just caved and said, "Well, that didn't work out. I'm going to just do what I want."
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, you know, we have to be real with ourselves about where we are. And I knew I wasn't in a place to make 4 or 5, like I was fixing to shut down. Like I could feel it coming. It's like, you know, I'm just going to show up. I'm just going to be with people. But I also can't let that be the excuse to, you know, we can wallow. All of us are good at just wallowing around in our emotions.
Yes.
So, yeah, yes. But I didn't have to recover like in years past where I had to lose 5 pounds because I gained 5 pounds at Christmas.
Yeah. So do you feel like that's the first year that's happened for you in a while?
No, because last year we were in our 100-day challenge. So
Right.
no. That was my second full holiday season because I had been on plan really well, even through Thanksgiving and everything. So, yeah, well, because I think I was even 100% at Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was like another whole full season of this is
And
great.
you survived. And that's what I don't get. People are like, there's no way I can do da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, but I've done it a lot and I'm fine.
But until you make it through it, like that first 100-day last year when we did it, and I realized we just did this and we've got camp and Halloween, we've got Thanksgiving, we've got Christmas. I had my birthday, I had my coaching announcements, I had all the celebrations, anniversary trips. It was kind of a panic, like, what have I done to myself? And then I did it because I was determined to beat you because I was one step ahead of you. So my competitiveness played a role, but I'll take it.
It worked.
But
it didn't hurt
until I did it. Until I did it though, Amy, I truly do understand how people kind of think there's no way.
Right.
Because sometimes you've got to white knuckle through a couple of hard things.
And there's a lot of planning that's involved, and you can't just wing. You can't wing celebrations.
No.
Now I'm at the point talking about the red wine and the dark chocolate. When we go to Disney, we're not going to Disney. I keep saying that over and over. When we go to Universal, I'm like coffee and the red wine and the chocolate. That is fine. I'm fine with that as a dessert or a treat, whatever you want to say. It will be on plan. And it's fine. I'm really fine with that. I'm going to take my bar of my 90% Lindt chocolate in the airplane with me. It's going to be just fine. And that's what I'll use because I'm okay with that. Am I completely shocked that I'm okay with something like that? Yup. Because vacations, that's when you splurge. That's when you enjoy the fun. And I'm not. And but I'm really okay with it. I really am.
Yeah.
I probably looking at it right now, thinking through it, I will probably have way more crossovers than I would at home, but I'm okay with that too. Cause I know we'll be walking 900 and a million steps.
Yeah. We should walk a minimum of 8 to 10 miles a day.
Oh my chickens.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
At Disney, I average 10 to 12 miles a day. Universal is smaller, but
yes, I will be having crossovers or I'll be a mess.
But so here's the thing, and I'm not knocking Universal because if y'all have followed me at all, you know I love going and traveling, and I'm an amusement park fool. I love them. Flip me up, spin me, well, maybe not spin me around, but flip me upside down. I'm good to go. Coach Amy's going to be waving under Velocicoaster while I go as many times.
I'll be checking my messages, what I'm going to be doing.
You can film me. You can film. That might have been JJ.
I will. So there she is.
But the food at Universal is nowhere near the food at Disney.
Right.
So it's going to be a completely different thing. We'll have to maybe we can do a podcast to record while we're there, because we'll have some downtime without the girls, and or maybe even do like a little reel or a live to kind of share what we're doing. We
absolutely. Yeah, we can. Just remind me, okay? That's good. I'm excited.
Oh, something else you wanted to talk about was New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, I didn't talk about my recovery of the holiday.
Oh, I'm sorry, but did you have to recover?
I literally just remembered. Food was fine. Kitchen fatigue and the dairy. Holy smokes. I don't do a lot of dairy generally. And I have a few clients that are 100% dairy free. They never said a word, but I could feel them going, "What are you doing?" And because actually at that moment, my doctor had really recommended me go dairy free because I had that constant cough and the allergies and things, which I'm still dealing with a smidge, but it's so much better. I think a lot of it's to do with my dog. Oh, bless. It's just, but that's my fault. I need to bathe him more often. It's 100% on Amy. It's my dog that I don't bathe often and the dairy that I keep putting into my body. So anyway, I'm owning it. It's mine to own. I'm going to get it together soon. So anyway, I had buds going on. I had blooms going on. I had Trimtastic Holiday going on. And then I had real life happening as well. Right. And so, things just got a little out of control with the dairy, I think. And there were some things that I was like, Wes and children, please finish this, because I just cannot eat this dairy anymore, but there wasn't like a legit recovery that I had to do from that, but I know it was starting to spin out of control a little bit. So I had to rein it in, and I've done so much better, and it's no problem for me to get back on that train, I guess you'd say. But the exhaustion of all of that, plus my girls' dance production, and then Wes and three of our kids, four of them hunt. Yeah, four of them. I'm like, how many do I have? So Wes and four of our children hunt very regularly, and the in and the out, and who's going here and when and where are you going and how long are you going to be? It just was a lot. And so, and then family celebrations, we had 2 that were after Christmas. And so it was just an awful lot of new. And I'm a very scheduled person. I can bend, I can be flexible, but when it changes every day, it makes my head spin like a Stepford wife, like for real. Yeah. So that was something I had to get back together. But anyway, I know no one else experienced that at all. I know I'm all by myself. I'm joking. But anyway, yeah. So that was something. And I wrote it down for in my calendar for the middle of November. Remember these things. And so it'll come up on my Google Calendar. You did not do well with this. Think about how you go handle it,
That's a great way to do it, though, because it's going to be out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. And it's a great way to just be like, hey, this is what you need to be mindful of. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be okay. You're going to survive deer season. It's almost over. We have a few days left. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So New Year's resolutions. What are your thoughts on New Year's resolutions?
They last for me about a week. So I just don't do them anymore.
Right.
I just think through this is what I did this year. Okay. I didn't write anything down. I didn't write down a whole bunch of goals. I didn't get all up in my head about New Year's Day and, all these things. I just didn't do it. I just want to be consistent, but I know that to become consistent, you just have to keep doing it. But that might mean that you fall down, or you forget about this, and you slip in your old ways and go back. I just want to be consistently working on something.
Yes.
It's not going to be 100% all the time. I may get into a situation. I may get to Universal and go, oh, I forgot about that. I'd like a bite of that and have something. That doesn't mean I'm not being consistent. You know what that means? That means that I'm going to make a conscious choice, but it's also going to be a controlled choice, and I'm going to keep going.
Right.
But I don't want at the beginning of 2024 or the end of 2023, looking at the beginning of 2024, to be in the exact same place I am now.
Right.
Amen. That's my thing. I want it to be this year of
growth.
Of how growing. Can I be a better JJ?
Mm-hmm.
What do I want for myself? What do I want for my family? What do I want for my friendships? And, what's it going to take to get there? But if I put a thing of, I'm never going off plan, or I'm going to exercise 5 times a week, guess what?
No, you won't.
No.
I love you, but no, I don't even do that.
No, but I'm just being more realistic with myself. And for some people, having a written down goal like that is a resolution works well for them. Right. But statistics show that most New Year's resolutions don't last. So I'm not going to be a statistic anymore. I never have liked going with the crowd. So
amen. Be your own self.
Yeah.
That was good. I knew that's what you were going to say, because we are best friends. Okay. So I do not ever really make a New Year's resolution either. Last year, 2020, what year are we in? Yeah. 2022. I come off my first set of 100 days on plan. It wasn't 100 strong then. That was for 2022. Anyway. And I was like, I'm going to do another 100 days. And I did until we had a dinner debacle for our Valentine trip. And I ended up eating pizza it wasn't the end of the world. I've heard way worse situations, but
Yeah.
for me, it was fresh. I think Wes was more upset about it than I was, but I just got right back on. And to be honest, like if you go back in my 8 app, you can see what I had. And it was 2 pieces of thin crust pizza and all these freshies that I'd packed and like a Zevia. So like I didn't have pizza and fries and a Dr. Pepper, like,
Right.
and that perspective is huge. And I think I only ate 1 piece of the whole piece of pizza and the other piece I ate the toppings off because that's who I am. But anyway, it did break it. It did. Back to the matter. So when I did my 6-year anniversary thing, one of the questions that was turned in, I don't think I talked about it then, but I think I talked about it with some of my blooms. Anyway, they were like, are you going to do another 100 days? And I'm like, no, because I'm on plan. Plan. I don't need to say 100 days on plan. I don't need to do that. Some people do, just like you said.
Right.
I don't need a bunch of little Amy's. That would be annoying. We all are our own person. And I think that we've got to quit putting ourselves in these templates or patterns that we do not fit in. Now, you can take good things that you like from Jennifer, from JJ, sorry, I intertwine things. From her or from me or from other coaches or from other people that inspire you, and you use those for your journey. You don't have to be a certain person. You're not them. You never will be them. Ever. But you can take little bits from different people that inspire you and make that work for you and help you become a better you.
Right.
That's huge. But
as close as we are, we don't do the same things. We don't exercise the same way. We don't eat the same way. And
nope.
There's so much, most of it we do differently.
We do most everything different.
But that's good.
But that's okay. And we're fine. And I think it's wonderful. I mean, it's okay. And the fact that you do not think like me is amazing. Because I can say, hey, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, and then she says all these things and I'm like, okay. And it helps me make my thought or my plan of action, whatever it is, better. Because she can see a whole nother side that I didn't even consider existed.
Yeah. Well, and you do the same thing for me. Cause like I was telling you, I want to work on these few things. And you had sent me some stuff and I was reviewing. And I'm like, I know all these things. Like I kind of was doing them, but just hearing you say it in a different voice was like, yes, that's exactly what I needed to do. So, it's good to be able to just bounce ideas off of each other and have that support. If you don't have a THM BFF, you really ought to get one.
Yeah.
But luckily,
and there's thousands to choose from.
There really are. There's 250,000 people in the main group. Luckily, we came to this together before, we were us before Trim Healthy Mama, but I'm so thankful that we have both done it, to where it's kind of constant support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And something else about our friendship that I just wanted to say, and it carries over. You're like, oh gosh, what she
know. I'm like bracing.
This thought can carry over into any part of your life. Jennifer and I are extremely intentional with our friendship. And we probably have said this before, but there may be new people here. So how far away do we live from each other? I forget. 25 minutes?
Probably. It's 20 minutes through the woods. I don't know the mileage.
25. Anyway, we are both homebodies, except for if we're going to travel. I'm like, let's go. We have gone, like last year, we went a lot of places. And this year we're going a lot of places. I'm excited. And it's just people have a preconceived notion of what our relationship looks like. She had a bag of Gentle Sweet that I needed and I didn't get it for a week and a half. And she left it at our friend's store and my daughter picked it up. I needed it bad. I could have went to her house, but I didn't want to,
Yeah.
But then we might end up being together 3 weekends in a row because, and then we might not see each other in real life for months.
Right.
So anyway, it's just everything's different. So don't think, well, your THM best friend's in your own town. Well, she is, but I don't mean her. I see her. Now, we use Marco Polo video messaging app. Is that a good description?
Yes.
And then we'll text, but there may be a week we do not even correspond.
I know it's bad. We used to have a weekly call date, and that just kept getting messed up, and we haven't reinstituted it.
It's fine. We're fine. But I did message her yesterday. The girl that I had scheduled for the interview for the podcast, she was not able to keep her appointment because of some family things. And I was like, hey, can you do a podcast? And she was like, yes. That's what friends are for right there.
Yeah. Just jump in. Yeah. I mean, don't put the pressure on yourself, like trying to find a friend and think, well, I don't have time for that because I got to talk to him every day and I got to do this and I got to do that. You got to be a grown woman and realize she's busy too. I don't think every day that goes by that Amy and I don't text that, oh, Amy's mad at me. Oh, Amy, if she's mad at me, she better just come tell me she's mad at me.
I think you would know if I was mad. You just know I'm busy.
Yeah. And we're both busy. We're both coaches. We both have, I'm much more part-time coaching than Amy is with her full-time coaching. But I like it because I am an empty nester. My babies are gone and I want to be an empty nester.
And, it may not last over here in this here office. I don't know. I'm just riding it as long as I can, baby.
That's right. But, I mean, things have changed with our relationship as our seasons have changed as moms and wives and stuff. And you just got to realize that with your own lives that, everybody's busy. Everybody's got junk. Everybody's got stuff. Yeah. And you just have to be intentional, whether it's calling your friend or, taking time to meal prep or whatever. Everything takes intention and effort.
I was going to say, Jennifer has JJ, bless America. She's been going and doing things with other people that we're friends with. And there's a tiny green jealousy monster. She's tiny, but she's still there when I see you post pictures with them people. But then I go, oh, no, ma'am. We are happy that JJ has other friends because the best friend is busy with her other things. And I just puffy heart that picture and I just keep on trucking.
I know. Well, because you think about it, if, even if you weren't as busy as you are, you have 5 children, even if the coaching wasn't as busy, and I get to tag along with a lot of the Gaskin stuff. And I love that, but I shouldn't tag along with everything. I want to, but I shouldn't, like the other day you were in Jackson and I'm like, why didn't I know we were going to Jackson? Like, I'm not in Jackson.
I didn't even think about it. Oh, Knox, though, he's like, I got to ask you a question. And I'm like, what, son? When are we going to the zoo with JJ? And I'm like, baby, it's going to have to warm up a minute. Because, of course, he asked me on a 30-degree day. And I said, we'll go. Maybe during spring break, we'll go. Because the beginning of our spring break is camping. So maybe the end of it.
Okay. We do. That poor baby.
You take that baby to the zoo, JJ. What is wrong with you?
He's been asking for a minute. We do need to do that. Yeah. But
But I'm happy that you have other friends and you're happy that I do. So that's another thing I wanted to point out. Because, I went out to eat with Madison one night. I go out to eat for lunch with Ashley. You go with Lindy and Christy, and I'm sure other people I'm not thinking about right now. But, it's okay.
Yeah. We can't be everything.
My gosh, I don't want to. I want you to have other people in your life. That's like with our kids, like my girls, I want them to have other adult women they can go to.
Yes.
I can't be I'm very multi-talented with my personalities that come out throughout the day, but I can't be everything that they need. They have a JJ, they have Auntie Mel, they have their grandmothers, their aunts, and I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is. And it's to everything. It's not just, like you said, it's not just to our friendship or to women's friendships. It's to everything. We've got to realize there is balance. I think society and we as women put so much pressure on ourselves to hit all these things and to check all the boxes. And there's the analogy, and I'll say it wrong, I'm sure, but it's like, you're juggling all these things, and, you got to realize not everything is like, breakable and ceramic and precious.
Ooh.
Some of these things are rubber balls, and you can let them boogers bounce while you take care of the things that matter.
That's good.
And that has helped a lot, especially in this season, because I tell myself, well, you're an empty nester and you should be able to do all these things. And y'all, it's nice to just be here and just slow down. I don't need to fill every one of my days. I was working on my calendar and it was like, oh, well, that day is kind of empty. And I was instantly gonna like, what? No.
Leave it empty.
I'm going to leave it empty because I don't know what's going to come my way that I can serve someone or do, or just take rest. So when somebody needs me, I can jump in and do, this is kind of the prize for getting through motherhood, and I need to enjoy it. But I think we all do that to ourselves. It's just go, 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 go. And it's balance, whether it's our menu planning and our prepping and our thinking about what we're feeding ourselves and our families. Thinking about, all the many things, oh, I need to listen to Amy's podcast and THM's podcast. And, then I got to do this and this and this. And just slow your roll.
Yep. Take a breath.
Take a breath.
Ooh, relax your shoulders. Lean back in your chair. Everything's going to be okay.
Unlock your jaw.
Oh.
Just chill.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that. That's good.
It's all about balance.
It is good. I wanted to read something as we close, if that's okay, from one of my dear clients. It's a little confession, and then I'm just going to read the 2 sentences that probably should have been 3 that I sent her, because when I'm typing to clients, I'm just loving on them, and I don't care about capital I's and periods, and they know that, and they love me anyway. It's wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so she says, I made an recipe last night for my breakfast prep. I cut off a 1-inch corner just to try to make sure they were cooked and ended up eating a whole row. Then when I was putting them away, I had another one. I haven't done that since starting coaching. Yesterday was a super rough day and I totally realized I just ate my emotions and feelings. I'm very disappointed in myself, but I'm trying to get past it and not let it carry me to today. I didn't even add it to my 8-out because it honestly happened so quickly and I didn't process what I was doing. So now I'm going to add it. I'm still sad and bummed. I said, hey, it's okay. It was on plan food, but yes, self-control was out the window. Put it in your 8-out, own the decision and learn from it. And she said, yes, ma'am, all done. And that is where Pearl talks about the gray cardigan of shame. My client could have worn that for weeks and never told me, but she told me and owned it and put it in her 8-out. That's what we use for food journaling. You don't know, ATE. It is what I ate.
Yes, it's great.
We've been using it for 5 or 6 years for sure. Anyway, she owned it, and there's nothing, any part of your life, there's nothing you can do about the past. You cannot change it. You can't. So quit thinking you can, quit worrying about it and change, learn from it and make a better decision next time. So next time old girl's making her prep for the week, she's going to immediately say, okay, fine. They're done. I'm going to take my bite. They're done. Fine. But I'm not going to do what I did last time. I'm going to use these for their purpose, which is my breakfast next week. Because she took away 2 or 3 days of food. That she didn't need to, which was kind of funny to me, to be honest. So that's just something I wanted to say. I've seen a lot of clients dealing with that lately, the shame and the emotional eating. And you just have to stop sticking your head in the sand and pay attention to what you're doing.
Well, and then hiding it in 8-out. You already ate it. So let's be real, let's be honest. And I tell my clients the same thing. Don't hide it from me. Because first off, what a lot of them will do is they'll just quit posting at 8. And I'm like, don't you think I know if you're not posting, you're off plan?
That's right.
Hello. So now let's see what you really are doing so we can think through, was it just mindless munching? Was it emotional day? Was it, and let's own what happened so you don't keep, going through that cycle over and over. So yeah, that shame thing, no, we're not going to shame, because we're being open and honest, and that's something to be proud of no matter what.
This is a huge non-scale victory. Huge, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what coaches are for. We're here to help you work through your junk. Because apparently you can't do it on your own. No one can. I can't work through my junk by myself. Who do I call? JJ, the Ghostbuster.
And who do I call? Amy.
Yes. Yes. So that accountability, whether you're having coaching or your THM friend, it's paramount to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right. Anything else?
No, we never do it in the short time you say we're going to.
All right. It's going to be fine. I'm sure they were hanging on to the edge of their seat.
Well, good thing about podcasts is you can speed us up, although we're not really slow chatters. So I don't know how well that'll work.
Yep.
Sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I love it. All right. Bye, y'all.